This is the last chapter of the Android application development course. Today I'll be covering some of the few finer points of the Android application development. First of all, let me show you how do you actually debug your application. To debug your application, Android provides you something called as logcat. The meaning of logcat is whatever logging your application is doing, that is logged over here. For example, if this is your device, whatever your device would be doing, that thing would be logged inside this logcat. So let me show you how to use the logcat. For example, I'll open the basic IO application first and try to run this thing on the device. When I run this thing on the device, as you can see, there are lots of things happening over here. Let the application be opened first on the device, then let's see what is the output that you get. Suppose I go to the logcat and I can set a filter over here with the name errors only. And then let me give the by log level to error. In case if there is an error, it will be shown over here in the errors only section. Now let me give the name over here to say ASDFG. That's fine. Let me give the age over here as O. Now when I click on check forward, you'll be able to see that it says unable to parse O as integer. Because we had used a try catch block, that is why there were no errors in the application. But suppose I go to the main activity and remove the try catch from here. Just comment this thing out so that we can use this thing in future. Just comment this thing out, comment this thing out. We'll press Ctrl F11 to run the application on the emulator. Let the application be launched. Then we'll be able to see how this logcat works. Okay, now let me give a name over here. That's fine. Let me give the age as O and say check forward. As you can see, there are errors in your application that says, you can just hold this logcat by saying scroll lock off, so it will not scroll to the bottom. As you can see, it is giving you an error over here, java.lang.number format exception, unable to parse O as integer. This is coming right from your activity, so you can trace what the error is inside your complete activity. As you can see, it says com.fitech.basicio.mainActivity.class. Inside this we have on click at line 33. So if you'll go over here, you'll be able to see that on line 33 you have the error, so that you can trace the error from the logcat whenever the error comes in your application. So far so good. That was about the logcat of the device. If you want to grab a screenshot of your device, you can go to the DDMS perspective, click on your device and say screen capture. When you click on screen capture, the complete screen of the device will be available to you. If you want to launch an application in the market, at that time you'll be requiring the device screen. That is, you'll be requiring some screenshots of the device. For example, I have the basic IO application. When I run this thing and say refresh, it will capture the basic IO applications UI and I can save this. I can save this inside, say, some folder called as C drive Android apps. I'll give the name as main layout and say I just give a name over here. Let's say ASDFG, whatever name it was. We give the age over here, say 23, and click, say check for vote and refresh. As you can see, you will be able to get the screen at the output. You can save this thing and give the name as running application. It will actually show the output when it is running. So if you can see, you will be getting two layouts. One is the main and one is the running application. So these two layouts have been captured by the Android DDMS screen capture utility. Let's move ahead with this and see how do we deploy our applications on the market. To deploy the application, you'll be required to create a APK file for this application. APK means Android package file. To do that, right click on the device or right click on the application and say export. And over here, you can go to Android, say export Android application, click on next. You want to use the basic IO project, click on next. Let's create a new key store. Let's create the key store inside the C drive Android apps folder. So let's give the location name as C drive Android apps slash. Let me give the key store name as key store. Then we'll have the password. You can give any password over here. Say next. Then we'll give the alias for the application. I'll give the alias as basic IO. This indicates a different name for the application. Let me give a password as well. And this will tell us the validity of the key store. I'll give that this application should be valid for at least 30 years. And let me give the first name as Ashwin. You can fill all the form details. These form details will help the Google Android developer community to actually track you when your application goes to success. So you can give your name, your organization unit, your organization, city, state, province, country code, etc. Click on next. Then you will be having a destination APK file. You can just give the path and say basicio.apk. When you will do this, the Android SDK will develop an APK file for your application, and that APK file will be available over here. You can directly deploy this APK file in the market, but before doing that, we'll be just adding some icons to our file. To add an icon, go to RES. As you can see right now, if you will click on the main menu, you will be having a basic IO over here. This has the default icon. Let's have a new icon for this. To have the new icon, go to RES and say drawable HDPI. As you can see, you have IC launcher.png. You can rename your file over here. I want this to be the logo of it, so I'll just rename this file to be ic_launcher.jpg. Just copy this thing from here and paste it inside the drawable HDPI folder and remove the PNG file. Let's do it for the drawable LDPI as well, drawable MDPI as well. These are basically different types of screens that you can get. HDPI is a high density one, LDPI low density, MDPI medium density, and XHDPI is extra high density. Let me just delete the IC launcher from here and paste my file over here. That's fine. Now, when you will run this project, it will not show you the actual icon. To do that, you have to go to project and say clean, then click on OK. It will actually remove all the previous references and create the project again. Now you can right click, run as Android application. You'll be able to see that your icon on the device will change to the icon that you had given to the actual application. Every application must have a separate icon. This actually indicates how your application is separated from the others when they see the application on the main screen. As you can see, your application now has a very good icon. Let's right click on it and say export again. The steps are quite usual. Export Android application, give it next. We have the key store available. You can have QWERTY, then next. You have the password of this as well, the same as the next one, and you can click on finish. It will actually create the new APK file for us. Once the APK file is newly created, you can go to the developer app store. Now this is my developer account. I have 3 applications right now running in the market. If I want to create one more application, I can click on upload application. When I click on upload application, it will tell me to choose the path of the new APK. I can choose a file. I can go to my C drive, Android apps, and go to basicio.app. And I can say upload. When I click on upload, it will upload my application onto the Android market. Make sure that your application is uploaded, and once your application is uploaded, you can click on save. Once you click on save, you will be requiring at least 2 screenshots for our application. You can click on choose file, click on the main layout that we have selected, click on upload. It will upload your main layout. You can add one more, choose file, and say running application and say upload. Once your screenshots have been uploaded, then you have to give a high resolution application icon, a promotional graphic, a feature graphic, any promotional video you have, any privacy policy you have. Do you want to opt out of marketing? What is the language, the title of the application, description, the changes that you have made, the promo text, etc. You can also choose to have your application free or paid, and then you can click on accept, and then you can click on save. Once you click on save, your application will be saved, and then you will be able to actually upload that application in the Android market. Once the application have been saved, you can click on publish. It will publish your application, and you will be able to get the application up and running on the Android application Play Store. Thank you for the patient hearing. All the very best for your career with Android. In case you face any doubts or queries, you can feel free to contact me at ashwinbarani@gmail.com, ashwinbarani@fitech.co.in. All our recent activities can be tracked at fitech.co.in and openengineers.net. Thank you.